I woke up to big news on February 1st. I opened my mail and saw something game-changing. Ghanaians and other African countries can now apply online for Germany's opportunity card. This was from the Chancenkarte team itself. And this program, as we all know, was announced in September 2022 to attract skilled workers. And it became law in 2023. And it officially took effect on the 1st of June 2024. Until now, only few countries had online access. But now is the time for Africans. So I had this message in my mail which reads, in Ghana, it is now possible to start your online application for the Chancenkarte at the German embassy from our application assistant. And we'll be going through step-by-step online application process and the documents that you need and also some important facts about the German opportunity card. If today is your first time here, my name is Manuel, and on this space I talk about job opportunities, conferences, travel tips, nursing related content, side hustles to get some monies into your account. Without wasting my time, let's get into the video. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Manuel. Today we'll be going through a quick process of how you can apply for your German opportunity card online. This is the same whichever country you'll be watching from, whether Philippines, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, Sierra Leone, Liberia, whichever country. And of course we are going to use Ghana as the main example here. So all the documentations are going to be as someone who is living in Ghana, but it's the same for every country. Now before we even start the process itself, let's look at a quick overview of the opportunity card itself, because I did a video on this topic somewhere around 31st May 2024 when it first broke out. I did an in-depth video on how it's going to be like, the steps, the process, the requirements and everything. But for starters, or for people who are hearing this for the first time, let's quickly look at some of the overview of the opportunity card. And it says that the opportunity card is a resident permit that allows foreign workers from third countries to enter Germany in order to seek employment, and it can also be used to search for measures to recognize foreign professional qualifications in Germany. And let's also know that this is a point system used to determine whether you are eligible for the opportunity card on your qualifications, knowledge and circumstances, and a minimum score of 6 points is required for this. And if you have a vocational qualification or a degree obtained or recognized in Germany, you can apply for the opportunity card as a skilled worker without having to achieve a minimum number of points. This is very clear and self-explanatory, and in both cases you must be required to fulfill the basic requirements, which I'm coming to list below. And let's look at some of the requirements. Now here are the requirements. It says that the following basic requirements must be fulfilled for the opportunity card. So basically the opportunity card is just a means to help people from third countries to get into Germany, look for a job and also start their life or start working as individual resident in Germany. And before you can qualify, you have to gain a minimum point of 6. And also if you don't want to use the point-based system, your certificate or your vocational skills must be recognized by the German body before you can overpass this step. And after you have gained these qualifications, you must also meet these basic requirements, which I'm coming to list. Now the first one is sufficient financial means to cover your living expenses for the duration of your stay in Germany, and also to apply as a skilled worker, university degree or vocational qualifications obtained or recognized in Germany. And I'm going to leave a link of how you can know whether your qualification is recognized in Germany. And also to apply on a point basis, completion of a degree or at least 2 years of vocational training is recognized by the state in which you obtained your certificate. Okay, so if you want to use the point system, you have to make sure that you have completed a degree in your country, in this case in Ghana, or you have completed any vocational training in Ghana. And this vocational training should be at least 2 years and the degree of course should be 4 years. And also with the point-based system, you have to make sure that you get your German skill to at least level A1 or your English language skills at least level B2 of the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages, that is CFR. So this means that it's either you have to get your basic German in place, or you have to make sure that you also get some English skills such as IELTS, TOEFL and other recognized English exam before you can be able to accumulate your points to get the minimum of 6. Now let's start the application online. So all you have to do is to click on the country that you live in. So if you're in Afghanistan, Albania, Armenia, Benin, Rwanda, Burkina Faso, Congo, Cuba, Guinea, Indonesia, Japan, Ivory Coast. I can't find Nigeria. Oh yes, Nigeria is in here, please. Oga, don't come and beat me. Nigeria is in here. And oh, where is Ghana? And of course Ghana. So if you are someone living in Ghana, Sierra Leone or Liberia, you are going to apply online through the German mission in Accra. So this process is quite pretty simple. I'll leave the link in the description. You click on apply now and you have to consent for the processing of personal data. I'll confirm that and it will take me to the registration panel where I will have to put my email address and set my password and I have to consent and carry on. All right, so after you have registered, you are going to sign in. Before you log in, they will send you an OTP code to get your application started. Now when it opens up like this, you are going to see on your left hand side your application status, and this is the score counter application form and supporting documents for your application. And it says that you must fulfill various requirements to apply for the opportunity card, which we are coming to do now. So the first thing we are going to do is to fill our VIDEX form. Now if you want to fill your VIDEX form, you just come on here and you click on your VIDEX form and it's going to open up. But for the purpose of this video, I already filled the VIDEX form so that I will be a bit quick for everyone to see how the registration process is like. So you put in your family name, your first name, your date of birth, your place of birth, your country of birth, and your marital status, your nationality, and if you have any form of nationality, you add it in here, but we are not going to add anything. If you have any children traveling with you, you are also going to add the children to this section. And you also have to include your parents during the application form. You state their names, their nationality, same as you did for yourself, and you are going to do the same for your mother as well. So I did this, and this is the section where you also have to list your occupation. So whether you are a nurse or a GP or a lawyer or whichever profession that you are in, you are going to include it in your application form or your VIDEX form. And this VIDEX form is the same as the one we use whenever we are applying for our Schengen visas. You know that Germany is a Schengen country and the VIDEX form is the same across board. So this is the same. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here because the VIDEX form is the same. If you want to know how to fill the VIDEX form, I have a video on how to apply for a Schengen visa online, and this is the same thing. But for the purpose of this education, let me quickly jump from here and go on to the identification papers because I want to show you something very important. So this is where you are going to input your passport details, and you have to make sure that you put the correct passport type and the passport document number in here because this is so important. I see some people, anytime they apply for their passport, they become confused whether they have to select official duty passport or special passport or any other kind of passport. Know that if you are someone like me, you are going to pick the ordinary passport. Now let's go on to another section because you're going to fill your personal details, contact data, identification papers, and travel data. Now let's look at what is at the travel data, and let's go on to the form. So they are going to ask you for your purpose of stay in the Federal Republic of Germany, and I chose other. Yes, I chose other, and I stated that I'm applying because of the opportunity card, and it's going to be the same. You're not going to say anything different. And also intended length of stay in Germany, so I chose that I'm going to stay from Germany from 16th May 2025, and you have to make sure that you choose a date that is in advance. For example, if you are filling this form in February, you don't have to say that you want to live in March or in 2 months time because it has to go through a process. You have to get some documents, health insurance, it has to go through the embassies for them to confirm, and this is roughly going to take more than a month. So you will not like to put yourself in a very tight corner, so make sure that you give at least, I would say 4 months, but you can also use your discretion. I am going to say that I intend to leave Ghana in 4 months, and that will be it. And they will also ask me when I will be leaving Germany, and you can put any figure there. And here I stated that I will stay up until 2022 because this is a temporary visa. They are going to give you 2 years to look for jobs, stay in the country, and if you put 2 years there, I think it's okay. You can renew it as the time passes. And you also have to make sure that you save everything that you do so that you never lose your data. Now let's quickly look the reference section as well. The reference section, it says that information about your reference is required for the visa application. Please fill in all fields in this form completely and carefully. And the type of reference here, I chose educational establishment or organization. And here, after you've chosen the type, let's look at the type of references available. So we have educational reference, we have personal reference, and we have accredited diplomat. So I chose educational establishment for the first one. So if you also choose educational establishment, you have to make sure that you put your school details in there and where your school is located, and also your school's address and any person who will be in contact at your school. So here, the person that I want them to contact for my school in KNUST is called Alatiari Moses, and his family name is Alatiari and the first name is Moses. And I also have their details and their gender in here. So if you also want to use someone as your reference, you have to make sure that you go ahead, tell them this is what you want to do. You need their date of birth, their address, because how will you know your lecturer's date of birth unless you ask them? So this is be needed, and they also need their email address and their telephone number. So this is something that I want everyone to take note. And if you don't want to use your educational reference and you want to choose a reference of a person, you can also state that as well. So they will ask you your family relationship with the person, and it's just the same thing, and you fill it accordingly. Now let's go back to the overview and see if everything is completed. All right, now the other point I want to talk about is the means of support. So we are still filling our VIDEX form to apply for our German opportunity card online, and this is the same whichever country you find yourself, whether you are watching me from Guinea, Congo, Somalia, Nigeria, Philippines, India. This is the same. So I chose that my means of support in Germany is going to be on a block account. And the next question, it has a formal declaration of commitment been completed. Now let's look at what that means. It says that please only confirm this information if you have a formal declaration of commitment that has been checked and certified by a German authority. So I don't have this done, so I will just click on no, and that will be it. And they will also ask me of my intended place of stay in the Federal Republic of Germany. As I said earlier, this kind of visa or this kind of process or pathway allows you to go to Germany even without getting a job. So you go to Germany, no job for you, enter the country and look for a job. So they want to know where you will stay. So these are the plans you have to make in advance, and if you have any intended place of stay, you can state in here. And if you don't know your street, you can just leave it as it is, and that will be it. So they will ask you if it's going to be a single room or an apartment, and just go on and fill this area as you want. And they will also ask you if you have family members who is accompanying you. If you have your spouse with you, you can travel with your spouse, and if you are going alone, that is up to you. You can state that you are going alone. And you come to the declaration section where they will ask you whether you've been convicted before or you have been deported in EU before, or even if you have any disease. You just have to click no, and you save your application. Then that will be it. You go back to your overview. Now let's go on to the document section of our VIDEX form. So after you've filled in your VIDEX form, let's assume that we filled our VIDEX form, everything has gone through successfully. The next thing we are going to do is to upload our documents, and the first one we are going to do is our passport. And we have to upload our passport and make sure that it was issued within the last 10 years and you have at least 3 months away from expiry, because you need a genuine or a valid passport before you can apply for your Schengen visa. And the other one is the school report. It says that you have to submit all school reports, and this include all school reports from primary school to secondary school. Hey, before you wicked. So what they are saying is that get your primary school report and add it to your secondary school report and upload them. And it also says that submit your school certificate such as BC and WASI certificate. The German mission will only accept the regular certificate, not the statement of results. So I know that when we finish school, most of us, we get the results. We don't even go back to the school for our certificate. The German mission want the certificate that we left at the school. So you have have to start communicating back to your school that you need your school certificate to apply for this process. And it says that if you no longer have the certificate, you can apply for a transcript from the West African Examination Council. And when you get all these documents, you will then upload them. And let's look at the university degree. It says that please submit a certificate confirming you've completed your studies. For example, a final examination certificate from your degree program, and this must show your academic degree. And when you get this, you upload it on here. Now let's look at the recognition of degree section. So if you obtain a degree, higher education institution outside Germany, you must make sure that your degree is recognized by the German authority. Now they have something they call the Annabin database. So this is where you will check whether your school or your certificate is recognized in Germany, and it's quite simple. You just go through the process and have the comparability test carried out for you. I'll leave the link of the Annabin database in the description, and you can also click on this link and it will take you to the Annabin database. And when you get all your documentation to say that your qualification matches the one in Germany, you are going to upload it here. And let's go on to the recognition of higher education, and this is quite the same. If you obtain a higher degree at a higher education institution outside Germany, the degree must be recognized, and this is the same thing, and you have to request for a statement of comparability. And if you click on this link, which I'm going to leave in the description as well, you will get it done and you upload it. Now the next one is your birth certificate. I don't think we have much to read about that. It says that you have to submit your official birth certificate, which contains information about your parents, and alternatively you can also submit a legalized copy of an extract from the register of births. So get your birth cert and upload. So proof of secure livelihood. So they also want us to prove that we are able to finance ourselves, and when we get to Germany, and they want us to make sure that we don't go into Germany and be distressed. So they want to know that we have enough funds, and that is where they also ask you to show evidence of your block bank account, and you can pay the entire amount required for the duration of your stay into the block account. I'm going to leave information on how to open a block bank account in Germany in the description, and also the exact amount you need to apply for your Chancenkarte or your opportunity card. And also declaration of commitment. If a person living in Germany agrees to cover your costs, this person can submit a declaration of commitment to local immigration office in Germany. The financial capacity must be marked as proven in the declaration of commitment and issued for the corresponding purpose of entry. So this means that if I have a relative in Germany, I can also ask them to get a declaration of commitment to say that KLB is a family member and we can accommodate him, we will be supporting him, and they have to show this on paper and they have to submit it to a local German embassy. And this will help you a lot because you are going to skip this part where you have to pay huge amounts of money. Now let's go to the optional documents. The resident permit of your country of application. So if you are not a national of the country in which you are staying, you have to please present a resident permit for this country. For example, people in Sierra Leone and Liberia are supposed to do the applications or submissions in Ghana. So if you are doing that, you have to present something that shows that of course you are Liberian or you are from Sierra Leone, and you have to upload it as well. And also let's look at the proof of health insurance. And it says that while living in Germany, you will need to have sufficient health insurance. If you already have received proof of health insurance, you can submit it to your application. And also if you don't have this, you don't have to worry, as you can submit it later. And let's look at the last one, which is other documents. And here you can upload documents to explain into details personal circumstances to the German mission with further relevant information. So if you have any documents to support your claim, just have to upload it as well. And that will be it with regards to filling your VIDEX form and also the documents that you need to complete your Chancenkarte application or your German opportunity card. Now let's look at the application locations. So after you filled your VIDEX form, you've gotten your documents uploaded and everything, you also have to book an appointment and submit all these documents, and you are going to do this at the Ghana German mission in Accra. And all of these can be done online. It's just the same as booking your visa appointment and submitting your documents. So you're going to do the same thing for this process. All right, so that is the step-by-step process and the documents that we need to apply for our Germany opportunity card. Now I've listed some advantages of this opportunity card, and let's quickly go through to see if this is something that we have to embark on. Now the most important thing about this whole process is that you don't need a job offer before you can apply for this process. You know that most of these pathways, unlike the ones in UK, Germany, Canada, United States, all of them requires us to get a work, get a sponsor, and come into their country to work. But with this Germany opportunity card, you don't even need a job. You don't even need someone to promise you that they will get you a job. All that you have to do is to get your documents in place, submit them, and also go into Germany and look for a job. So there is flexibility in there. You can also go into Germany, do a part-time job whilst looking for a permanent job. And also it is also a path to permanent residency, and once employed, it can lead to longer term residency and eventual citizenship over time. And also let's look at some challenges. And the cost of living in cities like Berlin, Munich, and Frankfurt can be expensive. So if you are someone that is into this process and you want to actually go to Germany using this process, you must be trying to skip cities like Berlin, Munich, and Frankfurt, as it can be expensive. And also the language barrier. Somewhere, if you speak English, fine, it helps, but you also know that you have to deal with people who mainly speak German, and German proficiency is crucial for many sectors. But it's worth trying because we have people who can't even speak English or German and they are thriving in Germany. So if you can speak some simple English, you should be fine, and you have to go for this as well. Now, whilst I was preparing this video, one of the boys here asked me if it is worth it to apply for this process, and I said to him it's worth it if you are actually a skilled worker, you are into IT, healthcare, or if you think you have any skilled job. Why not going to Germany and explore whilst you can get extra income rather than sitting in, I nearly said, a country which does not pay much, but you skip that conversation for another day. So this is a good chance for people who have the skills to also apply. And also, if you are applying with your spouse, know that you get extra points if you are using the point-based system. Now I'm going to leave the link of how to calculate all these point-based system in the description, and I'm also going to leave my previous video where I explain into details how the point-based system and the school system works. So the final tips I have for you is to start early, do your applications early, gather your documents, your CV, your school set, your birth set, check that your passport is in date, and also make sure that you start learning basic German. And I went to German recently, but my German has vanished. Don't be like me, start learning basic German now because it's going to help you. And also, after you've gathered all your documents, just hop on to LinkedIn and start your job search. You have to make sure that you start early so that everything goes on well with you. So guys, this is what I brought to you today. Make sure that you explore other videos on this channel, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new here. This helps us a lot. And if you miss any of these videos, or you want to book a one-on-one session with me, you want to ask me any question and you think that there is no means, you can join our Telegram community and send me a message directly, and I'm going to respond right away. You can also hop on to manuelyeboah.com, go through our website, go through our videos, subscribe to our newsletters, and also if you have any questions or if you want to book an appointment, do it on manuelyeboah.com. See you in the next video. Bye.